this is Robin from Rose's Liberty, and today I'm taking a look at all the seedlings that I have planted. Now, some of you are going to be going, what is she using for seedlings? Well, let me tell you, because I'm using this method. It has been the best seedlings I've had in several years of doing this. Most years I'll get the little cells, like the 2-inch or 1 inch, actually the 1-inch cells. I've got some outside, and I'll put them up in the bathroom. That's the best place where I have the most warmth and sunlight and humid air. And eventually, most of the time, they just get root bound, and I drown them and they die. So this year I have a new setup. I've tried many different methods over the years, mostly trying to save a little money using pretty good quality seeds. I've got things in here. But this year I came up with this method. And I'll talk about the plants I have going here in just a moment and what I'm going to be planting today. So this year I came up with, I decided I had a bunch of the loaf pans. Okay, so I'm always trying to be as frugal as possible when I'm getting the garden going, because outside I spend a lot more money than I do on the seedlings, getting them started. The most expensive part of this is the organic seed starter, and then I also picked up some sand. I use seed starter and then mix in a little bit of sand. To me, that gives the best drainage on the plants, and I'm not looking at getting a bunch of plants that are root bound and drowning in themselves. So this year, I decided, I've got loaf pans. Let me go to the Dollar Tree initially, or to Walmart, and get a whole bunch of these, and I couldn't find them. Luckily, I had a bunch here left over from one time or another, but I was able to find these. I found them as singles at the Dollar Tree, which the dog's walking by where I'm painting. Come here, Bodhi. Come on. The old can of paint that I'm touching up this room, the lid doesn't seal, so the dog just ran by it. Oh, here he comes. Hello. Hi. Hi, buddy. Oh, you need a mint. Oh. Bodhi. Honey. Hi. We're going down. All right, Bodhi, as you know, insists on being in every video. So now that he's been in the video, I have no idea what I was talking about. All right, so I found these as singles at the Dollar Tree. Our Dollar Tree is $1.25 each. I also found them as a 2-pack, I believe it was, at Walmart. 2 or 3-pack. Now there's dog hair all over everything. So I decided that this is what I was going to use. Now I'm just covered with dog hair. This is great. Bodhi, I love you, buddy. And I was going to use these pans, and it has a lid, so you have a little terrarium that you can put together when you put the seedlings in there, and that's worked great. So, welcome to my world. All right, so this is what I was going to use, but then when I came home, I discovered I did have a bunch of these. These are the single pans, that loaf pans. These are the larger ones. And I decided I was going to use an insert. So I have this one. I poked holes, you can see, so that it will drain. And this fits inside because it's a little bit smaller, and it does kind of sink small enough that it will not fit directly in here. But that's okay, because it works out for the best, because the bottom touches the bottom, or the corners this corner touches the bottom. And in order to water the seedlings so that they don't get root bound, or that I don't damage them when I pour water in, the first day that they needed water, my tendency is to pour it on top, which of course makes them all fall over. I have grow lights. Most people don't have a greenhouse outside or a sunroom that they can do all this. This is set up specifically for anyone who would like to grow some plants. You can do this with simple everyday items from your household. In this case, this year I'm using the pan with the smaller pan inside, and it has the lid that you can use like a terrarium, and then take it off once you're done with it. Right now there's a whole bunch stacked up over there, but I can continue using this part for quite some time. Eventually this may break down because it has the soil and everything in it, but this is a system I can reuse over and over. And then you'll just have to pluck out. I have to thin these anyway, so then I'll take the strongest plants and pluck them out eventually and put them into the raised beds, which are outside here. The white that you see out there is a frost blanket on top of my kitchen garden. Bodhi. He's so happy when he's in the video. All right, so right now, let me move this water out of the way because I will kick it over. I have written on the edge what they are, and I've given each of them a number, and I have it in a notebook, specifically the variety that I've planted, the date, and you know, I'll put notes down on as to how it turns out. But I have these that I put the name on it and also the date. I use these more when I have individual pots, but right now these are written on. All right. The next thing I'm going to be planting, why I'm pulling this out today, are artichokes. And I picked up 3 different varieties. From the research that I have done, I believe the Colorado Red Star will be the most efficient or effective, the best grower here in my area. However, I'm trying to plant some of these down at the off-grid property. It will depend on how much rain because we're not always there to water them. So this is more tolerant to drought, I believe it said. I'll have to reread on it. But it says sow 2 to 3 months before average last frost date. So these should have been already growing. I didn't order them until mid-month. They arrived, and so this is Colorado Red Star. That's one I showed you. Green Globe, which are the pretty common, what most people grow. And then the Violet de Provence is, and I'm probably not saying that correctly, but it has a reddish hue to it and bright purple flowers that kind of look like chives. So I picked this one before the coloration to give it some extra color. So today I'm just going to start with these, and they will be in 1 container. I will probably put 8 in here and then eventually pluck them out and replant them. And I don't know where they're going after that as of yet, because we're talking about putting some more beds in against our fence over here. Some in-ground beds rather than raised beds. So that's what I'm going for, the ornamental look of these, as well as having another food source. And I'm using my little pots. So don't laugh, because this is doing really well. All right. First we have a Bodhi. This is Bodhi. This is the one that's the star of the show. Gunner could care less, but Bodhi knows if Mom has the camera on. Yes. All right, to start here, we have a pack of microgreens. These, yes, I know. They're microgreens that I picked up at the Dollar General on clearance in the fall. Look how beautiful those are. And I have planted those in a container that contain organic spinach or greens, like kale and all kinds of greens. And those were planted on the 22nd of January. Yeah, 22nd of January. And today is the 8th or 9th of February. So those are looking really nice. So here we have the American flag leeks, and then we have micro tom tomatoes. And I will thin those out. Here we have the pink plume celery, which, as you can see, they're leaning towards the window every day or so, every couple of days. I will come in, flip them around, and they will straighten themselves out by going towards the light again. Up here we have the Lisbon white scallions right here. Alyssa Craig onions here. Red burgundy onions are right there. The Zebrone shallots. Those haven't done as well as I had hoped, but I may not have put as many seeds there. And then we have some rapini broccoli. Those are looking pretty good. They're not standing straight, I get that, but we'll deal with it when the time comes. All right, so long-standing cilantro. That's right there. That looks great. These are Jimmy Nardello peppers. And this is Utah celery. That took a little while to come up. Here we have a cipollini onion that is not up yet. Those were just planted a few days ago. And there's the Alyssa Craig onion again. And that's it for right now. Now outside in the garden, I do have one entire raised bed that's strawberries. That's an 8-foot by 4-foot bed. I just recently, this past weekend, or I'm sorry, last week, that's one video I'm working on. I transplanted some cabbages. I left them for not going to survive at all. And now I have several probably 8-inch tall cabbages and collards, that sort of thing. So I do have quite a bit going on. And I haven't decided what all I'm going to be planting here in February, and I will work on that really quickly. So I wanted to give you just a quick update on the system that I'm using this year. It's working great. Like I said, my first instinct is to pour the water in. And even if I'm using a misting sprayer, it still doesn't seem to work very well. So in this case, the soil will dry out. I'll give it a few hours so I know that it's dry and I'm not overwatering. And then I can put that in, put the water in the bottom, and that'll seep up slowly and they're not getting flooded. But the system so far with the containers, with the loaf pans, is working great. It's worked out better than most seasons have so far. So I'm really happy with it. It's also inexpensive, and you can use, fill up windowsills. Let me show you one more thing. And the reason I came up with these to begin with is because it fits in a windowsill. I have a window just like this upstairs. So it's just a double window in our bedroom where the sun is equally bright. And I have that window sill that's, what is this, like 6 inches? So these fit perfectly on there, and I can fit probably 8, no, let's say 6 across one double window, or 3 in a single window. So I just want to get outside for a few moments. It's pretty nice out. The birds were chirping. That's one reason I came out, so I can get those. We can see some of the raised beds behind me here. And I just wanted to say thank you from Rose's Liberty. Thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up, bell icon, all those kind of things you can do. We really appreciate. And stop back in later. I'll have some more videos up. If you hit that bell icon, you'll be notified whenever a video is downloaded or uploaded, actually. And I have more in the works. We're going to be off-grid soon. We're going to be going down, take care of some stuff at the off-grid property. And I'd like to take you along with that, or on that little trip. Until then, take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye.